Hollard, South Africa's largest privately owned insurance group, is the new headline sponsor of the Pendoring Awards, which celebrate creative excellence across all South African Indigenous languages. Now, Hollard's partnership with the awards coincides with UNESCO's launch of the Global Task Force for Making a Decade of Action for Indigenous Languages. The initiative aims to raise global awareness of Indigenous languages in communities at international, regional, and national level. Joining me on our social newscast, brought to you by Social TV and hosted by me, Sam Marshall, is Heidi Brouwer, Chief Marketing Officer at Hollard. Heidi, thank you very much for your time. First question, before I ask about what drove this partnership between yourself and the Pendoring Awards, talk to me about the thinking within Hollard, because when you read through the presser and you talk about a natural fit, you then take a look at some of the other things that Hollard has been able to do in this space. I mean, in a conversation we had before this, we talked about the Daredevil run, but Hollard's also been involved in BASA. It's been involved in a couple of other big programs. What is happening at Hollard? What's the thinking? How do you find those fits?
So Sam, Hollard has a very clearly articulated purpose that drives everything we do. We don't wake up every morning and say, goody, we've come to work to sell insurance. Our purpose is what drives us, and it says we enable more people to create and secure a better future. And it hangs off at a whole bunch of things that we talk about, which is about inclusivity, about partnering for a win-win-win, about being catalysts for positive and enduring change. And I suppose that being catalysts for positive and enduring change is really a big part of how we approach our partnerships and sponsorships to amplify the brand and to make a difference in the communities in which we work. And so, yeah, you're right. We've got a lot of sort of things that have a similar vibe to this Pendoring partnership, like Business in Our South Africa partnership for the awards, the Sports Industry Awards, and now the Pendoring Awards. And what they have in common really is that they are supporting better futures by supporting and acknowledging work that people do in creating things that make society better. Business and art partnerships are incredible. The Sports Industry Awards also amplify work that people do to bring sport into our homes. And this Pendoring Awards is uber special because it looks at being inclusive in terms of language.
And in actual fact, this is not your first rodeo with them. You did partner with them the year before, and this year decided to be the headline sponsor.
Yes, we did. I suppose we dated last year, and
it went well.
This year, it went well. The date went well, and now we're fully involved. And Hollard is a low ego brand. A lot of people sort of are only taking notice of us now that we've turned 40. And we love these awards things because they amplify other people's work, which really is what partnership and being a catalyst is about. And that's the essence of our brand.
Do you find, as the head of marketing and driving these initiatives, that this relationships that Hollard has identified and it's got such deep impact that it's even more important now? I'm not saying that being a headline sponsor 3 years ago wouldn't have mattered, but in a climate where excellence and being an agent for transformation is so important at the moment, does it mean a little bit more?
Well, it's always meant something, but I think we have to now, in this economy that we're in, and with the way that younger people are engaging with brands, we have to show up, I suppose, really, if I was to say it like that. You can't anymore expect people. There's so much product parity that you can't expect people to simply engage with you from a business point of view on the basis of your products and services. The expectations are much higher. So partnering like this has never meant more, really.
The value of preserving and acknowledging the value of Indigenous languages. Hollard itself, in its own advertising, in its own campaigns, is not adverse to moving from one language to the other. But how important is it to recognize languages?
There's so much that makes us unique as in society that we have to be deliberate about noticing it, or we will be excluding of people. And for us and for our CEO, Saxon Tombela, for him, deliberately including people is so important. So language is one of those things. It's difficult because I was laughing the other day. We say English is the lingua franca of business, and I'm sure that means French something, but I may be wrong. But it's such a funny thing. But English is the accepted language in business. So how in business do you include people and their languages if you're deliberately excluding them because English is the way we communicate? So for us, what we love about the Pendurings is that Pendurings, was celebrated Afrikaans language, and they shifted to be inclusive of all languages, barring English, because it gets enough attention.
Yeah.
Which is remarkable. It's absolutely marvelous, and we love that because it's a unique platform in the creative world. What's missing, though, and the thing that we want to propel along with the Pendurings team is a greater awareness for the importance of inclusive language in business. And how do you do that if English is the lingua franca? And so we have to look at ways to embrace other people's languages in business in a way that doesn't exclude. Not an easy thing, and we'll just support all these incredible experts in a way to do that.
Final question. Obviously, Hollard likes the inclusivity bit. You've done it this year with the Daredevil Run, where you've gone into people's homes, into their communities, and you've reimagined. You could have just done what the London Marathon has said, we'll do a virtual run and that's it, and you do your thing. But you've really thought about how do we go back into those communities and stuff. What I love is when awards think about how do we bring people closer to the awards. And for me, it's quite amazing to then say, we're going to find South Africans who can speak multiple languages and we're going to reward one of them to the tune of 40,000. Was that your idea, or was it something that you guys came up together with? Because I think that's super clever.
So that's partnership, and we worked on that together with the team from Pendurings. And we love it. And I think that's what partnership's about. It's not sponsorship shouldn't be about flinging your sponsorship dollars at the rights holder and then making them do all the work. We have to be able to dance together and sing together and perform together, and that's why we love the Pendurings and our other sponsorship partners so much, because we co-create, and that's what's come up with this Mzansi-Gloss idea, which is fabulous. Originated from the Pendurings team, massaged together, and it's really just a marvelous idea. And we're doing something exciting as well. We went to some of the other awards shows in South Africa and said, "Do you want to partner?" I mean, that's unheard of, and we're really excited that the MMA this year, in their Smarties Awards, there will be a Pendurings Award for mobile marketing in an Indigenous language. That's a first.